Hey guys, how we doing? New episode here. Just want to go over the overview real quick. We're going to be talking about our quarterback rankings, pyramid style, for this upcoming year. And in the meantime, like, follow, subscribe. We're doing all this for y'all. Thank you for the support. And here we are, right into the show.
Here we go.
We're back, guys. B Team. I'm your host, Mikey Meatballs Silvestri, with Mr. Colin Thomas Mueller. He's here. We're
Shout
here.
Out to the Germans. Shout out to the Germans. 2-0.
I'll tell you what, Colin. Before again, we talked about what we were getting into and whatnot. Like the bet that we had for the Euros. What happened to Belgium, bro? Are they done?
Oh, dude.
I was pretty certain
Yeah.
the bet looked great.
We do this every single year where we're like, oh, yeah, the Belgium team is one of the best teams in the world, blah, 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 blah. And then when they show up to the tournament and they can't even get out of their group stage. We do this every year. And I think it's time that we just wash our hands of them. You know, yeah, they got KDB. They got some guys. They got Lukaku. Fun fact, didn't know Lukaku was on Roma. Thought for sure it was like the Saudi league for him. It's on Roma.
Are they just getting old?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of getting old and a little bit of expectations being too high for them. You know, like I don't know why we think that Belgium's going to go out there and win the Euros. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Yeah,
It's
I
gonna
mean,
be
like
Germany,
you would
it's gonna be England.
You would expect them to at least like win their first game, just because they've always not. I mean, I wouldn't say have been a powerhouse, but they've been like a very good team throughout the Euros.
They're playing Slovakia.
Exactly. Like you expect a win there, but yeah, maybe we're seeing their true colors. But the bet looked great. Besides that,
I mean, the other one was good.
The other one was good.
German one was good. Then we
Smoked
had
them.
The next day. What was it?
Italy, Albania.
Italy.
Crazy game, by the way.
Yeah, really crazy. There was one more I had yesterday.
Spain, Croatia, no, Netherlands,
France. Never a doubt. Never a doubt. Mbappe broke his nose, though.
I did see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
It's
get
nice
into
to be
this.
back in that,
Yeah.
but we're gonna get into these tiers.
Season.
Football season is finally upon us, or will be upon us soon.
Feels
Take that
like
back. Feels like it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7-ish and a half weeks.
We're close, man.
We're under 2 months.
It's nice because we're finally getting news about fantasy now and players, and the weather's getting hot and it's feeling like summer and
Too
it's
hot.
feeling like football. Yeah, it is too hot. We're looking at 90s the whole week. But with that being said, me and Muller came up with this idea about our ranking system for this upcoming year. We have about 6 levels of the pyramid. We will start probably from the bottom and then work our way up. So just to give you a brief overview, number 6 will just be the rookies, people that we haven't really seen obviously play, like Caleb Bow, blah, blah, blah. 5, shout out to Gattuso. That tier will be sometimes good, sometimes a shit. Number 4 will be has potential, can go wrong. Number 3, solid, can't go wrong. 2, MVP contenders. 1, face of the league. I think you guys already know who that is. So with that being said, very good. With that being said, man, let's get right into it. So
tough one here. You know, the rooks.
I
mean, this is the toughest category because you really got to look at the league here and figure out who are the best of the best. And so you want me to do this one?
sure.
All right, so let's be honest. We're going to have Caleb, Bow, Jalen, Drake, Penix, the rookies. That's who's at the bottom because we have no clue what they're capable of. We think we do, but we've seen it before. Zach Wilson was supposed to be the savior of the city. And
Come on, man.
Let's be honest, Mike.
Why do you got to start with him,
helmet.
bro? You could have started with anyone else.
My favorite quarterback.
Yeah, it really is,
And
man.
he's actually going to be backing up Bo Nix.
Yeah, that's apparently Stidham is
He's
making
up
a
there
name
still.
for himself. Even last year there were a lot of speculation about him being a starter in the future.
Yeah.
So who knows with him? But Zach Wilson in Denver, where he belongs. Enjoy it out there and go soak all you
Enjoy
want.
the moms.
Enjoy the moms. Denver moms are ready.
Go soak. Throwback to that episode when Cassie explained soaking to everybody.
That was amazing. only with Zach Wilson, but Hopefully he can get a fresh start and whatnot. But I think it's fair that we have this category because you don't want to put Caleb in 3 where you can't go wrong and he's solid with guys like Baker and I don't know.
Proven guys.
Yeah, proven guys.
At least a year.
We know nothing about them.
Yeah.
Like, but there's just been so many 1, 2, 3 quarterbacks that were supposed to be good. Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Mac Jones. Like that whole class was supposed to be. Here's the next stage of quarterbacks that are going to be a franchise quarterback and lead this team to the future. But Mac Jones made it to the playoffs his first year. You know what I mean? Like anything can happen.
I know you just triggered my brain. I know exactly what quarterback we are missing from this list.
Who?
I know, and I'm going to bring it up after we do a couple of these tiers because we can figure out where we want to place him in it.
Is it like a starter right now?
Yep, he's a starter, and we'll get into it.
Man.
Yep, I think you know now. We'll
No,
get into it in a little bit.
but I'm missing out on who it's going to be.
Yeah, I know.
But we went through all the teams though.
Yo, you thought
We're missing a team?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Can I? All right, you got to just let me.
You'll figure it out as we go. You'll figure it out.
Really?
Yeah. All right, here we go. So first group.
Shit.
Ready?
Sometimes good, sometimes a sheet.
Sometimes a sheet.
Sometimes a good, sometimes a sheet.
Shout out to Gattuso.
What a guy.
What a legend.
All right, I'll go through this one. So sometimes a good, sometimes a sheet. We got Gino in there. I mean, listen, he had his 1 year. We know what Gino is. We know who Gino is as a quarterback. We don't know what the Seahawks are going to be, but we're just going to keep him in that category right now. And he's old. He's a vet. I mean, you really can't put him in the has potential, can go wrong, or solid can't go wrong. We don't know that. Again, we look at him kind of as a bridge quarterback. So we'll put Gino in there. Deshaun Watson. I mean, again, just based off the categories that we have.
Just like his life. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's shit.
Yeah, so we'll throw him in there. A lot of pressure on him, in my opinion, because the Browns have a great defense and they have a little bit of expectation. Can't let it go to waste with that defense.
And they've loaded up a little bit on the offensive side, so he really has no excuse.
No.
Have a good year.
Good offensive line. You got hopefully Nick Chubb coming back healthy. You now have Jerry Jeudy, Amari Cooper, solid, great, whatever you want to call him. Eli Moore. You got players. And Njoku, we'll put him there. Danny Dimes. I mean, if there was a category for what the you put him there, but we'll put him in this one. He has won a playoff game. We'll throw him in there. Derek Carr, I think, again, he's like a kind of another Gino. Everyone knows what type of quarterback he is. He's not going to take you to the promised land, but he can win you some games. He can also lose you some games.
He's very capable of winning that division. But after that, honestly, I don't see him being capable of much else.
Exactly.
I don't even know if he's capable of, like, getting on the plane after that to get to the playoff game, because let's be honest, they ain't having a home game.
No. And is the division in hindsight? Yeah, I think it is for any team in that division. But we know he's not young, another vet. So a lot more vets in this category, and then we have 1/2 more quarterbacks in this. Sometimes a goose, sometimes a sheet. Aiden O'Connell and Gardner. Kind of a tricky one because Aiden's young and Gardner's not old, but he's considered a vet. I personally think Aiden O'Connell can be a guy for them. We haven't really seen a lot of it, but just for the time being, I think the Raiders for me are going to be that breakout team this year. How kind of was for the Falcons for me last year, and the Browns. I was right about the Browns. Falcons maybe not so much. I think the Raiders are ascending, so I'm happy with them in that category. So that is our 5th level of the tier of the pyramid.
I agree with that.
All right, you want to do number 4 for us?
Has potential and can go wrong. Now,
can go wrong.
Yeah,
can go wrong.
Here's where I'll actually just say the name, and I just want to figure out if you agree that he should be in this one. All right, so I'm going to say him last.
Okay.
All right, so we got Kyler, Kirk, Bryce, Rodgers, Steelers, AR, Levis, and Sam Darnold.
Oh my God!
I can't believe we didn't have.
Oh my God! We forgot about Darnold. No way.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely in that category.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I'm
an asshole.
Believe
I'm an ass for
we
that.
forgot him.
Damn.
I cannot believe we forgot.
You know why? Did they have a first round? Yeah, it was JJ, bro. Damn.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we
JJ in the
JJ
Rooks
in
as well.
JJ's also. We just forgot about the Vikings. Shout out to Christian Olsen.
son of a bitch. Poor Darnold. Oh, Darnold's in there.
Yeah,
Stop.
absolutely.
We ain't talking about it.
So yeah, like I think the two big talking points here are Kyler, AR. Well, three, I guess. Kyler, AR, and the Steelers. Because let's be honest, Kirk Cousins going to the Falcons, he's going to have expectations, but he's got Penix behind him, and honestly, I think this has more potential to go wrong than it is to go right for Kirk Cousins. I think there's more potential that we see Penix than it is Kirk making the playoffs. And it sucks for Kirk because obviously he didn't want this situation. Probably should stay in Minnesota. He would have been better off. But, I mean, it is what it is now. I just don't see Kirk lasting long there. And I think he signed a 2-year deal, right?
Yeah, I think it was more. But
Three?
like
Four?
a 3 or
Five?
4, I believe.
That's terrible.
It again, like the age group, like the ages of these quarterbacks are making it very hard to put in these tiers because again, Rodgers is 40 years old. Like we know he's a damn good quarterback. Like he can be in 3. I think Kyler, if there's one person who's really still a mystery, not really a mystery, but Kyler can be in 3. Like, I mean. AR, I feel like, is like perfect for this category because we've seen his injury history right off the bat. Like he's already having shoulder pain. Like we know his potential. We know he can be a stud for that Colts team. And can he just stay healthy and can he just relax a little bit and just let other people have the ball instead of him? But again, he's a type of player you want to have the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
Bryce, I mean, I'm rooting for the guy, but it can go wrong.
When you watch him play, he does the right things.
We can't forget he was the number 1 pick too.
Yeah, he was the number 1 pick that went to a team that literally got all their assets stolen from them by the Bears. Like
Yes.
in broad daylight, in front of everybody on Twitter, just stolen from them.
Everyone knew they weren't.
Like
they're not ready.
You can't draft a quarterback and expect him to do anything when you don't support him. They didn't support him one bit. And so I'm still on the Bryce wagon. Roll Tide.
Me too.
Shout out to our guy down in Alabama.
Yeah.
He had a big day the other night.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did. Steelers, though. This is going to be a half and half face when we post it. But Russell Wilson, I think, will be the starter. But, I mean, Justin Fields, they got to be running. We said this a few months back probably at this point. They should be running the 2-man offense, the Heisman Trophy offense that the Ravens ran, and just keep throwing Justin Fields in there and letting Russell just not get hit. Don't let him get hit. He's good enough to play if you don't get him hit and he's not having to scramble all over the place. Tell him, like, if you're in trouble, just throw it away.
I think Justin would be perfect for the Steelers in, like, red zone areas, like where you kind of mix it up and you take Russ out where, okay, now Justin's in. Are they going to hike the ball and is he going to scramble and they're going to run a running play for him, or are they going to do some type of RPOs, which he was good at OSU, and throw the ball? So I will say this, I think Russ potentially can move up to number 3 because again, it is the perfect scenario for him where he's not getting paid. Probably, I think he's only getting paid $1 million by the Steelers. Denver's paying the rest. It just depends on his level of play. Can he play to the level that he used to play in Seattle? Can he put Denver and whatever happened in Denver behind him and be coached well by the Steelers, by Mike Tomlin and why am I blanking on his name? The coach from the Falcons, who is Arthur Smith.
Yeah.
Like, can he be back? Can he play back to his level where he used to be in his prime? Yeah. Like, he could be good. So
I completely agree with you. And this is not very serious, but if he makes this lifestyle change, it's over for him. All right, this is from Jersey Jerry. People might have seen it. Came out a few days ago.
That's amazing. That is amazing. I mean, I just hope, like, again, I feel like we had this conversation with the Falcons. I just hope, or I wouldn't say hope, I feel like this is going to cause, like, the Steeler fans are, you know them, they're very, very adamant about that team, and they want to win, like every other sports fan. Like, they want their team to win, or at least go 500, make the playoffs, and lose first round, for sure. If Russ starts playing bad, they're going to be chanting Justin's name because they're happy about that deal. I think everyone is. Justin deserved that deal.
Yeah.
he should sit back and learn, but again, should be used in red zone packages or can be used in red zone packages. That's for us to see, man, because it can go wrong because you have those two guys there, but I think it's a good problem to have. And if it does go wrong, it's fixable.
Yes, I agree. And before we move on to the next category, we have to touch on one more guy. And this was, I believed he should be here, but I let Mike take this one first and asked him where he wanted to place him. But your boy A-Rod, you put him in this has potential, can go wrong category with the likes of a Bryce Young, Sam Darnold, Will Levis, AR, the Steelers situation, Kirk Cousins. Thoughts?
I'm not jinxing it. I'm not jinxing it right now.
So this is just you saying I don't want to jinx it, basically.
I mean,
that's what you're putting him in there for.
Listen,
just not jinxing.
Listen, I don't want to get off topic here. The Mets after the Grimace era right now have not lost a game. I've not watched one game. I will start watching when they lose.
Did they get rid of Grimace?
Huh?
Did they get rid of him?
The whole page, the whole Instagram page, Twitter page of the Mets is a picture of Grimace. Ever since, did you not know this story right now?
No, I've seen it. I didn't know that's what they did.
He threw out the first pitch of the game at the Mets Stadium, and they have won every single game since. Like on a tear.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, just don't change anything.
I cannot watch them.
Anything.
I will not watch them until they lose, where I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should start watching them again. And they're slowly roping me back in, but I'm a little tentative because I just know this team puts me on a roller coaster. Mm-hmm. So, well, I love, besides the fact, why I put Aaron Rodgers in this category is because the next category is solid, cannot go wrong. We've been down this road too many times with the Jets. I will put him in has potential to make it not be able to go wrong. Mm-hmm. So, but it can go wrong.
Yes.
Last year was a prime example of this. The team has potential, but it can go wrong. So, yeah, he's perfect in that category. Every other Jets fan is going to disagree with me and put him in an MVP contender, but I've been down this road too many times. He's in there for a reason.
All right, well, let's move on to the next one. Solid, can't go wrong. Mike?
We got a lot of quarterbacks in this category. So
should we start with the – so how many we got here? We got 12. So should we list 6 of them, talk a little bit, and list the next 6?
Yeah.
Or we can just list them all because we don't need to talk about them all.
Yeah, that's fine.
I do like that we're just winging this on the fly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's gonna work. We're gonna have our logos out and everything. Yeah. But so I'll list my 6. You want to list the other 6?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I got solid, cannot go wrong. Dak, Hurts, Tua, C.J. Stroud, Jared Goff, Joe Burrow. I mean, again, this is a bigger category for the tier. You really can't. I mean, again, Hurts made the Super Bowl. Dak made a playoff. Like a lot of these quarterbacks have made the playoffs and have at least won a game in the playoffs. So, I mean, Burrow, again, has injury, but Super Bowl. He could be in number 2, but we need to see him post-injury. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think this is a very, very fair list of players in this category.
Yeah, the other 6 are Jordan Love. You got, did we say Brock Purdy?
Nope.
We got Herb. We got Baker. We got Trevor. Stafford. Did we say Stafford?
Stafford, Brock, Jordan Love, Trevor, Baker, Jared Goff, or Herb. I don't know which one I didn't mention. But
all right. So we have Dak, Hurts, Tua, CJ, Love, Herb, Goff, Stafford, Purdy, Trevor, Baker, Burrow.
Thank you. Maybe we should have just did like that.
Dumb idea on our part.
Yeah, that's on me.
That was terrible.
Anyone you want to talk in that?
I mean, Trevor, we got to talk about him.
Oh,
that's a massive contract that buddy just signed.
He deserved it, though.
He did.
Yeah. Okay. So you agree with me?
I do.
I think there's a lot of hate.
He screwed the Cowboys, but that's okay.
There is a lot of hate coming out about this Trevor Lawrence contract, and I just don't. I see where they're coming from, because you compare his numbers to Danny Dimes, and they're quite similar. Mm-hmm. However, we can't just throw away the fact that he made a Pro Bowl. He came back against the Chargers, yet alone the Chargers were charging. He won in the playoffs. They lost to the Chiefs in the divisional round, which was actually a really close game if you watched it. They lost 27-20. I think he threw a touchdown and a pick. He had like a 75.5 passer rating. Like, I don't understand. It's like, yes, 3 years. Is it a small sample size? Not really. Like, you can see what type of quarterback this is. However, the Jacksonville Jaguars, how many quarterbacks have they had in the last 10 years? Blake Bortles, and can you name any others? Gardner. Who else?
There was that other.
Who else?
I
know who it is, but I can't remember his name, bro. I know. I can't remember his name. Besides the point, you got a guy like this who is your number 1 overall pick. He has made the playoffs again as 1-1. Yes, he just probably got one of the most expensive contracts in the history of the NFL behind Mahomes. But the salary cap's only going to increase. The quarterback market's only going to get more expensive. I actually think they've made a great move doing this because you're getting the contract out of the way and you believe in the potential of this quarterback. I mean, you can't tell me before his injuries he did not look great. Even from 2022 to 2023, the dude was like 8-3. Again, fact check me, but he was winning games. He also was throwing to Christian Kirk, who I'm sorry, a decent, good player, is not a wide receiver 1. Zay Jones, him and Calvin Ridley didn't work out, and that was when Calvin Ridley returned from his gambling suspension. He was mental health. Now you got weapons. You got BTJ. You got Christian Kirk. Like, I just don't understand. Again, compare the numbers, but they did this early for a reason. Say he does snap next year and makes the playoffs again, and he throws for 30 touchdowns, 15 picks, something like that. You know how much more money that contract's going to be? I mean, again, it's an expensive contract. Did he deserve all that? No. But did he deserve a contract? Yes. Like, again, it's only going to get more expensive. They believe in the potential of this guy, and they put all their future bets in for him. I think they made the right move here. And now they're going to surround him. Get an O-line, load up on the defense. You got, again, the most important position on the team is your quarterback.
Yeah.
And they know this guy is a damn good quarterback or can be a damn good quarterback. Sign him. Sign him now. Why wait? Because how are you going to replace him? You're going to restart, go through the draft again? Like, now they at least have the guy where they can build around him. We have our guy now. Now we can look elsewhere to make him a better quarterback. Receiver, tight end is another position. They got Travis Etienne. He was a top running back last year. Mm-hmm. Like, build around him. He's going to be good.
I agree with you. I agree with everything you said. And they're doing everything that a good organization does, unlike the Dallas Cowboys.
There you go, dude.
Also, the 2 quarterbacks I was trying to think of, because I was thinking of the bald one. I don't know if you were thinking of Nick Foles.
Not Nick Foles. Who was the other one?
I was thinking of Mike Lennon.
Mike Lennon, no, I didn't even think about that one.
Yeah.
I was thinking probably one of like 2010.
Blaine
I can't
Gabbert.
remember. Not Blaine Gabbert.
Chad Henne?
Not Chad Henne.
Oh, we're going way
I
back.
was going way back. Damn.
Okay.
Blake Bortles. Oh,
but yeah,
my God.
I agree with you. I mean, they did exactly what they should have done because that team, they're only going to continue to get better, more consistent. And you look at their division, there's a very good chance that they win it this year and they have a home playoff game. They probably have a favorable matchup. And does it suck the teams that they kind of have to run up against? Yes, it does. It does. The quarterbacks you have to play, it sucks. But at the same time, you have a good enough team and a good enough organization that Trevor can get you over that hump. He can make a run. I mean, we saw Blake Bortles do it not too long ago. Like, it's possible to do, and I would argue that this team now is better than what Blake Bortles had.
Yeah. I mean, again, they had...
It's a smart move. It's a smart move because there's a good chance he wins some playoff games this year or even next year, and all that's going to do, it would just bump his price tag up and bump it up more and bump it up more. And you're looking at, there's good quarterbacks.
Look at the division now. Like, you really want to reset in this division where you have... probably one solidified guy right now who's going to be a stud for a long time, and 2 potential guys that can probably be on the same level as Stroud.
Yeah. And there's a bunch of quarterbacks that are about to get paid in the league.
Exactly. And you don't want to be like the Patriots right now, where you have Tua solidified, Josh Allen solidified, Rodgers solidified, and you got Drake May. We have nothing about. You don't want to be in that position. No. You're going to lose money, and you're going to lose a lot of games. Yep. So kudos to the Jaguars for actually doing the right move. And now, again, this looks Tua's going to get paid now. Mm-hmm. What are they going to do with the Dak? We won't get into
Prescott,
it. But
I mean, you just have to pay him $60 million.
Yeah, you have to do it.
Just figure out a way to do it and be financially responsible. Jerry Jones, maybe just stay home for the day because if you hear the price tag, you're going to die, literally.
He's getting paid more than a lot of other quarterbacks. Trevor, Herb,
yes.
Lamar, but it's not.
But
I think the next highest paid quarterbacks are like 53 million. Like so,
it's
okay,
not
3 to
crazy.
4 million. Oh, big deal.
It's
Like,
not crazy to think. And like Dak Prescott, I mean, Cowboys, what are we doing, man? I know everyone gives us, like, they joke about it, they make fun of us because Dak's our quarterback, but at the same time, Dak is one of the best statistical quarterbacks in the league over his time in the league. Has he been able to get it done? No. But at the same time, has the team around him been completely healthy his whole career? No. Has CeeDee Lamb not shown up for an entire half of football in multiple playoff games? Yup. It's like there's certain things that he can't control. And like the defense just bleeding points. All of a sudden we're afraid to go after a quarterback and we can't stop the run. You know, like there's certain things he can't control. And I'm going to be done with this in 5 seconds.
oh, now I have a question on it though.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll take the question. But it's like we have to look at this from like a very objective point of view. Is Dak Prescott a good quarterback? The answer is yes. Is he a franchise quarterback? Yes. Is he a guy you want to be leading your franchise? Yes. Can he win games? Yes. He's proven that. It's about building a team around him that can win with him, that wants to win with him. And I don't think he's had that. I think last year he did. The defense kind of fell apart, though, like we said. I think over the next couple of years, you're going to see a run. If they can hold on to him and keep him, you'll see a run. And the other thing to keep in mind is everyone's making this big deal of like, oh, they didn't pay Dak. I'm sorry, but the money's just getting bigger. The contracts are going to keep going up. The longer you wait, the more, like, there's going to be other teams that we're going to look at next year. They're going to be like, oh, they didn't pay them last year. Now the price tag's going to be $80 million. You know what I mean? So it doesn't really matter ultimately because the money's kind of staying the same relative to what the league's making. You know, like, yeah, the price tag's going to keep going up. Well, the league's making more money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
that makes sense.
I see what everyone's saying, and I see how, like, guys that got paid a couple years ago are making way less than Dak. Yeah, they got paid that when the league wasn't making this.
Agreed.
You know? So I don't have a problem with the price tag. I have a problem with the fact that they won't pull the trigger.
I think
we have to pull the trigger. He's a good who else are you going to get in the league?
Exactly. And that's another thing too. Like when you were gone, like me and Gassy were talking about this, like we know, in my opinion, I just don't think he has a clutch factor. However, I don't think he's replaceable. You have to really pull the Band-Aid off and restart, which could either, like, if the Cowboys are willing to do that, they can. But again, they also have players that are still good on the team. They're not a bad team. But this is my question now. I asked Gassy this on the episode when you were gone. It's like, who do you pay? Like, we know that Dak deserves it, but you got Micah who's going to want the money too. You got CD who's going to want the money too. Who do you prioritize out of those three? What is your 1, 2, 3 there?
Out of those three?
We said Micah number one.
Oh, well, Micah's number one, but you're going to be able to pay 2 of them.
You think so? You think Jerry's going to, like, especially with the wide receiver market?
Will. I'm saying you can.
You can, but okay, understand.
You can pay 2 of them. 3 of them's where it gets tough to pay that kind of money. And I think it's Micah and then Dak.
I feel like that's the answer.
The wide receiver market, it's only getting better. Every year, I mean, you look at this, like, quarterbacks, it's a different type of thing. You know, like, you have to have the mental side, you have to have the vision, you have to be able to throw, you got to have like all this stuff, decision making. You know what I mean?
They're never going to rebuild, my opinion.
Don't take this the wrong way if you play another position. Mm-hmm. I get it. You have to be smart to play at this level.
Yes.
But I'm saying to play quarterback and to deal with the media and to deal with all this, who's better than Dak? Who is it? Name one person that's better with the media than Dak, better with the Dallas Cowboys media than Dak. There's a lot of guys that are just going to crumble. Aaron Rodgers, who's a very tough mental guy, he might not even be able to handle it. The criticism that you get. You know what I mean? Like, think about all the times over the last couple of seasons where we've come down here and we start recording and I just light Dak up. But then by the end of it, you start thinking, you're like, all right, is there anyone better? And I always come back to, no, Dak's the guy.
Yeah. But it really is the truth, though, because it's like you can compare this to Trevor too.
Yeah.
Like he might not be the guy yet. Like by the numbers and the statistics and his win-loss record in the playoffs, he might not be that guy yet. Dak's kind of in the same position, but also isn't in the same position. But if
he's got years still to play.
That too,
it's
yes.
not like he's
what is it, like 32, something like that?
Yeah, we're not talking about Tom Brady at the end of his career.
Exactly.
Right now. We're not
yes.
talking about Aaron Rodgers right now. We're talking about a guy that's in the prime of his career. The primes are getting that window. We see it in every sport. That prime window is way bigger than it's ever been. Way bigger. He still has another. Honestly, by the end of his career, he could play another 15 if he really wanted to. Now, is that going to happen? Absolutely not.
The why I think Dak is such like a hard, measurable quarterback is because everybody, including myself, is always going to include his playoff wins and losses record. Like it's just something that you can never blow over. Yeah. And again, I am right with you. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the league last year, regular season. But again, like he's so hard to measure because of that.
Now, I agree.
But I understand.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And I have two things to go along with that. And I will give it to everyone. Dak has not been great in the playoffs sometimes. But
I get where you're coming from.
He has been great most of the time.
Agreed.
When guys don't show up, he can't control that. And when your coach, all he does is dye his head red and clap.
Or have Zeke snap the ball on fourth down.
Well, that's a different coach. I'm not even to him yet. Like when all he does is clap on the sideline and dye his hair red and suck on Jerry all the time. Like, what are you supposed to do? That was all that guy did. And I get it. He probably did more. Let's not go down that hole. Everyone likes to take this stuff and run with it. Like, we get it. We're trying to be funny here. But then this next coach, I mean, I like Mike. I like him. I wish he wouldn't be dreaming about burgers while we're trying to win a playoff game and in turn forgetting that, Zeke is not a lineman. Like, crazy. And side note, this is the last thing we're going to talk about, then we're going to move on.
Yeah,
I'm done with this. But
you.
Ezekiel Elliott might win us a Super Bowl. All right, we're going to cut it there. All right, on to the next one. MVP contenders.
All right, I mean,
there's only two.
Yeah, there's only two. It's Lamar.
But two.
It's Lamar and Josh Allen. I mean, there is three, but in this category because we do have face of the league, it's Lamar and Allen. Yeah. Allen's just putting the team on his back, and now Lamar. I mean, he's got Derrick Henry now.
This year, think about it, Mike. If he does not get it done this year, we really got to start rethinking this whole thing. He's got to be put in the same position as Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get it done this year. And I'm not even saying win the Super Bowl. He's just got to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, he's got to get to the Super Bowl, but I will say it's really hard when you got the face of the league, of course, it's Patrick Mahomes, and that team, like they're a dynasty. They are the new Patriots. Like they're so hard to beat. Like I just don't. They've only got better. They're only getting better. Like, how can you beat them unless you out-scheme the shit out of Andy Reid? That's their only solution. It's not even the players on the field. It's the coaches. How can you win that chess match against him?
Yeah.
That's it. And he's won a lot of them.
Yeah.
He's won two-peat right now, Super Bowls?
Mm-hmm. Going for the
That's why I can't even blame any of these AFC quarterbacks because we know that Josh Allen is a stud. Yeah. We know that Lamar is a stud. These guys are above average elite quarterbacks, man. Mm-hmm. It's a team game at that point. Like, can you beat Mahomes and the Chiefs? Like, you can be the best quarterback on your team, the best player on your team, but it's a team game. We got to remember that. There's another side of the ball we don't even talk about anymore. Yeah. Like, how can you beat them? So. Yeah,
no, I agree with you. And then obviously that leaves face of the league, Mahomes.
Yeah, it's Mahomes.
Everyone knew it. Everyone knew it was coming. I mean, GOAT.
Yeah, we talked about this, and I got shit for, but can be potentially the GOAT. He's got a lot more. He's got a lot more time.
He is the GOAT.
You guys were arguing with me the one time.
I've come around on it.
You come around on it?
Yep.
See, Mikey knows his shit.
Well, you just said he's potentially going to be the GOAT.
I said before he can be the GOAT.
And I'm saying he is the GOAT.
I mean, he can be. He's very close.
So you're not there yet. You don't think he's
the GOAT. You guys thought, hold on. We're not getting into this. Don't do this to me. But you guys know, you guys were challenging me hard on it, giving me all this Brady shit, and I was with you. And I'm saying, and I said, it is early, but in the future, if he wins 5 Super Bowl rings, I said this, 5, he will be the GOAT. It's hands down. But anything in the 3 category that we maybe missed on?
I don't think so. I think everything's pretty self-explanatory there. You know, we really only had to dive into the Trevor one, and then we happened to stumble into Dak Prescott because the media loves the Cowboys. You know what I mean? Like
I feel like
stay away. You can't get enough of them.
we might get some shit. Obviously, we're gonna get some shit on Jalen because he could be in the 2 category. Last year, again, tush push, all that, whatever. You got to put Tua in 3. Brock is another guy that could be number 2, but you just put him in 3. I mean, we all know the system and everything.
You can't all be MVP.
No,
contenders.
for sure.
Let's be honest.
They are. Yeah, Burrow
At
is.
some point, you just
Burrow could be there too, but we got to see him post injury. We have to. I mean, they're kind of going through turmoil. The Bengals the Bengals. Oh my God.
That's okay.
Jordan Love. Any of these guys can be an MVP contender. It just depends on who they really believe is going to take that next step.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud could have a sophomore slump for all we know.
Yeah.
He could be worse than what he was last year. Mm-hmm. And I will say this, because I know before the season started, I said that he was going to be the best out of those rookie quarterbacks, which you guys challenged me on that as well. I could see, I don't know if you've seen a lot of his journey, his podcast journeys right now. He's kind of talking his shit, and he's a little cocky now.
He is.
He's got a target on his back, dude.
He has. I could see that 3 position where he has to step into number 2.
I could see maybe a slight step back, maybe a slight step back. Again, I'm not saying he's going to turn into a Deshaun Watson or a Danny Dimes, but he could maybe have a little bit of a worse year just based on his shit talking. He's getting cocky now.
No, I agree.
And that division is heating up a little bit, and I think they are one of the most wanted teams in the AFC.
Yes. No, I think a lot of people want their shot at him now. I mean, you can't be walking around like that after one good year. You know what I mean? Like,
and he has
a lot of people are going to be coming for him.
He can talk all the shit he wants because he got a playoff win under his belt. But
yeah,
we'll see in the future.
Yeah, I'm excited, dude.
I can't wait. I mean, this was nice. I mean, it's nice to get back in the little football swing. But I think with the rookies, at some point, maybe when the season's happening, we can have our mid-season rankings.
Yeah.
Huh?
Gotta break them down.
We got to break the number 6 tier, and then we roll them in.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree.
So with that being said, another episode down the drain. Thank you guys for watching. Like, follow, subscribe, and we will see you next week.
See ya.